Hi, Elliot. How are you? Really nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Hi.
First of all, I want to thank you for your time. Now that you have many more records, EPs, new singles. So do you feel ever like this kind of nostalgia from your previous record to this new one?
It's nostalgia. I mean, it's more been interesting to just see how they've grown up and which songs still feel like they stick and work, particularly I feel like the real test is playing them live. And if it's like, I feel like we've outgrown it almost like as a band, it's interesting how some of them endure and some of them kind of fall away. And, I kind of try to look at that as a way of educating myself, when I'm writing now, because it's just sort of interesting to see the things that make things last.
The other thing that I was wanting to ask you is like, I from the name of the record and also many of the lyrics that I listen to. I think that this is like your most personal record that you have ever made. Do you feel in that way, or do you feel that it's that concept that you made about
Yeah, I
nostalgia?
mean, I think it ended up that wasn't what I really set out to do, but it ended up being really kind of I I didn't worry so much about like dressing things up and making them sound cool, and instead, just if I had a thought or an idea, I just sort of tried to take that raw kind of ragged thing and like make it into a song instead of kind of hiding behind cool screens and making things blurry and picking fun colors or whatever. It was sort of a um an exercise in learning to just like leave it and do something that supports like the reason you started, as opposed to like kind of turning it into this journey like by force, which it doesn't always end up where it should.
Yeah, it has to feel natural, right? So you have to feel it in your own word, your own idea.
Yeah,
So
I've messed up a lot of songs by trying to turn them into something else, and then you just can't listen to it either way, and it kind of just goes away. So,
yeah, totally. I understand that. Probably as a producer and a songwriter, I think that which elements do you think that you could define the lyrics and the music of your entire new album?
I mean, well, it's definitely more kind of like raw and to the point, and it's a little more uh, like ragged, like intentionally less polished. And there's these aspects of it that kind of like erupt into tantrum. I mean, it's almost a little more like kind of childlike, and like I follow the sort of impulses that I feel, as opposed to like letting them die down and then write the song. I mean, if the record actually has like these really angry, big, fiery moments that I've never really been able to do before, and I just thought it was sort of um, time to like explore if I could work that into the music, because it's typically I kind of tempered things a bit too much in my opinion, and I just wanted to let things kind of be a little bit more dynamic and true to how I'm feeling.
Also, do you have like some artists or bands or singers that you are currently or constantly listening right now? I know that you are on tour, so it's a little bit complicated, but but do you have like any kind of bands that you prefer right now from the music right now?
For some reason, I've just got Gorillas on loop right now, like all their stuff. I mean, like Demon Days is like a record that for me, it's like that was one of the reasons I wanted to be a producer in the first place, is because like Damon Albarn's like making these little movies that you just sort of close your eyes and can watch in your head. And I was like blown away by that when I was younger, and it just sort of made me want to do it. So I think maybe it makes sense. I'm going back to like listening to things that got me into music in the first place, and then writing kind of the most nostalgic record I've written. I mean, I think it's kind of all.
Yeah, and in some kind of way, I and now that you mentioned that you've been raw in this album, also I think that some other songs are a little bit more polished. So it's like a combination between raw and polished in some of the songs that you made, right?
Yeah, I mean, just not like hiding if something is kind of uh, not everything we feel is like polished and resolved. I mean, so I just figured that why should I make a record that doesn't represent like the way I'm actually feeling right now, and it was kind of a lot going on in my life at the time, so it just sort of seemed
perfect.
fitting.
Also, now that you mentioned Gorillaz, for example, which other artists do you like, or did they influence you to start this career? Now you mentioned Gorillaz, but which other artists probably influence you or have an influence in you to start this cool career that you?
It's for me, I always end up really sticking with the ones that have like a whole like atlas of content around them. It's not just about the music, it's about like the whole visual aesthetic and the movies that they make and the crazy music video. I mean, like Massive Attack is a great example. It's like they've got this world around them that I mean, it's fun to be able to dive into them in that way, like, because there's just no matter what you want to do, there's like something there. Yeah, I mean, they've been a huge inspiration. I mean, Portishead also, I mean, which they're kind of the opposite, and they're very sort of like, you know, shrouded and secretive, but that makes them just as cool, and you just want to try and figure out everything you can. And also, I mean, that record Dummy up there is sort of it's the thing that I strive to do the most, where it just sounds like nothing. It sounds like they like went into like someone's living room and in 3 days made a record, and that was that. It's so effortless and it's perfect, and it's just that's the kind of thing that I kind of dream of making.
Cool. Yeah, it's one of the best records ever made, probably.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, and for example, for the future, obviously, I insist you're in the middle of your tour. You're starting the process of touring with this new record, but do you have like some immediate plans for new music in the foreseen future, or you're going to take your time, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few collaborations I'm doing right now that I'm excited about, and then there's a lot of music that happened like during the same period as this record that didn't make it on the record, that I sort of don't know quite what it is yet, but I want to put it out because it a lot of it is actually finished and I just haven't released it. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, and you know, I would love to, you know, stop being this person that reappears every 4 years to put out a record and then, you know, goes away again. I mean, I sit up here in my studio enough that I could probably put out more music than I do, so I'm gonna try and do more.
Yeah, it will be awesome, man. Don't leave us behind. And the final question is, probably other Mexican people have asked you this, but how do you feel playing with Mexican audience? Do you feel something different from other audiences that you have ever played?
Yeah, I mean, Mexico, I mean, like other people have asked, like, why do you think this is? And I'm like, I don't really know, but I mean, it's like just been one of the most like supportive and energetic and exciting places to be and to play. And I mean, I'm kind of, it just sort of happened that the 3 shows in Mexico are at the end of the tour, and it's kind of like the grand finale for us. You know, we're going to be looking forward to it the entire time. It's just so much fun to play there. So I'm really excited about it.
Great. Thank you so much, Elliot, for your time. So I just want to say that I'm really eager to show you live in May here in Mexico City. I'm a huge fan, and I'll be waiting for new music, and also I'm enjoying your new album. So yeah, thank you so much for your time, and really nice to meet you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.